Welcome to a jam-packed Osseo High School gym for a great boys basketball matchup tonight, Northwest Suburban Conference style. It's the Maple Grove Crimson, ranked number 3 in the state against number 4, an undefeated Osseo. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. Boy, a lot of hype for this one for a regular season game. Anytime these teams meet, it's pretty fun, but they're both so good this year that it really makes it a special one.
Well, you touched on it, Jay. Anytime these two schools get together, it's a great atmosphere. The fans go back and forth. They all know each other. But I don't know if we've ever had it where the top two are, they're the top 2 of the 5 teams in the state. Osseo 14-0, I don't think anybody saw that coming. They knew they had a lot of athletes and a great coach, but I don't know if you saw that coming. Maple Grove, I think people expected that kind of, early season start. I just am so excited. We just got done with a heck of a girls basketball game, and I expect an even better game here for game number 2.
One unfortunate thing tonight, Maple Grove will be without one of its best players. Taiwan Pickford leads the team in scoring and right up there in rebounding as well, but out for the year with a knee injury.
Well, you hate to hear that for anybody, but especially high school players, and especially for a guy like that who's really come on this year. I think everyone knows about Brad Davison, expects his scoring, but Taiwan Pickford really, I think the way he's elevated his scoring, it takes a lot of pressure off of Brad. It really makes them a hard team to defend. So you just feel for the young man, but you also feel for that team. He's a big loss.
Now let's talk about key players in our game this evening. And Brad Davison obviously had a lot to do with Maple Grove's success in football in the fall, but a basketball player who's an outstanding guy, junior guard, but he's going to have a lot of pressure thrown at him tonight. Osseo will look to really force him to do things he doesn't want to do.
Well, doesn't it feel like we've been watching him for 8-9 years now, but then he was starting as a 9th grader. He's just got complete command of this basketball team. And that old cliche of he's the quarterback of the basketball team, it's true. 17 points, almost 9 assists, over 5 rebounds, 3 steals. He does everything that you need for your team to win, and you got to have a guy like that. What stands out, though, I see a lot of great talent. I watch a lot of summer basketball, Jay, is his basketball IQ. He knows when his team needs scoring. He knows when he needs to get others involved. He's a coach on the floor. Tonight, especially with Pickford out with that knee injury, he's got to have a near-perfect game on the road to win.
And for Osseo, we're going to talk about one of their maybe kind of unsung guys, but Cameron Betty is their one guy who really is an inside player. He's going to be giving up a lot of size to Maple Grove center Reed Nico, but Betty coming off a great game over at Champlain Park last week.
Well, he's 6'4", so he's undersized, especially against the 6'9" Reed Nico, but he's a beast, and he's got that mentality of a winner in a championship. And he's got to be just active tonight, and I think he's got to attack Reed Nico. We've seen Reed pick up early fouls, pick up foul trouble, so I would expect Cameron to go right at him, see if he can get some early fouls, because Maple Grove's different when Reed is out of the game. And the other thing too, Jay, don't forget, this Osseo team won a football state championship this year. A lot of those guys are on this team. I can tell you that is contagious. Winning's contagious, and there's just something magical in the air here at Osseo where they now believe in themselves. They expect to win. They got great camaraderie. Almost 5 players averaging double figures, so something magical. I can't wait for tonight's game.
If this one's anywhere near as good as the girls, we're going to be in for a treat here tonight. It's Maple Grove and Osseo. We'll tip off in a moment here on 12 Sports.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
And welcome back here to Osseo as more and more people still filing in here trying to find a space in the gym, and it's pretty big bleachers here, but boy, they are going to be full, it looks like, here tonight.
It has that intensity of a playoff atmosphere. I remember doing the Osseo Hopkins playoff game here, and and again, this rivalry, I can't understand, when you know each other, you grew up together, it's a little personal, and even with the crowd, some of these parents have had kids go to both schools over the years, so it's really intense and just a great atmosphere.
Let's take a look at starters for tonight, starting with the visitors from Maple Grove, and obviously one big change in their lineup because of the injury as Ryan Bredensteiner will step in. Got some pretty good size, 6'4", good defender. Yep. He joins Teron Pickford, Reed Nicko, Jack Hutchison, the sharpshooter, and Brad Davison, the point guard, in the lineup for the Crimson here tonight. And for Osseo, really not one superstar, but 5 really good players to start the game. Alan Anderson, Zach Tyson, Cameron Betty, Dante Jones, Demario Armstrong. A smaller but faster team for Osseo, definitely.
How about this stat? I read this in the Star Tribune paper. Osseo, the only team in the state in the top 5 in scoring offense, scoring defense, and margin of victory. So you talk about firing on all cylinders, playing great offense. You know, talking to Coach Tyson, he loves how unselfish this team is. They don't care who gets the bucket as long as they get a bucket. And the question for Maple Grove, Jay, is who's going to pick up that scoring with Pickford out? That's 18 points a game. You know, is that Davison that's going to, or is it someone else that's going to step up?
See, the series, you consider it a great rivalry, but no two ways about it. It's been one-sided. Maple Grove did win both games a year ago, but Osseo definitely has had much the better of it throughout the years.
Well, you look at the banners up here, you're seeing a couple of the boys basketball state championships. So Coach Tyson done a heck of a job in this program. They've had some great talent come through over the last few years. And really, I think he wasn't surprised of their success, but I think the outside world really shocked at Osseo being 14-0, not having a big name star player, but having a ton of athleticism. And again, you know, and he even alluded to it when I was talking to him, just that spirit of championship. When you win a state championship, these kids don't know how to lose right now, and it's a great feeling to have.
Pretty experienced group, too, for Maple Grove. If there is a group that isn't going to be fazed by, a loud road crowd or whatever, they've got some guys who've definitely played in some pressure-packed situations, especially, for the last season a year ago. So they, not that can bother anybody, no matter who you are, but these guys at least have been through it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Maple Grove, who's normally really driven by their guard play, say, hey, Reed Nicko, we're going to come down to you. This is your game in the beginning. You got a huge height advantage. We need you to be efficient and big in the beginning and play inside out.
Nicko controls the tip against Dante Jones. Maple Grove, first possession, Demario Armstrong getting the assignment on Davison. Here is that lob into Nicko. All kinds of traffic around him, and he is fouled. And Ryan, can I hold that crystal ball for a little bit for you?
That's just it's just being smart. And I of course played basketball a long time with their head coach Nick Schroeder, and he knows that. Reed Nicko is a very good player. Of course, going to Missouri, hasn't been huge this year in terms of offense, but in this game, in this matchup, he's such a size advantage. And right off the bat, just throw it up over the top. Who else is going to jump with him? I mean, Osseo's got great athletes, but hey, when you're 6'9", there's nothing you can do.
Second free throw also good, so Nicko starts the scoring here. 2-0 Crimson as Osseo hits the front court. Jones handing it over to Armstrong. Zach Tyson, who is among the state leaders in three-pointers made. Armstrong driving into traffic, and he scores a tough hoop.
He's one of the 4 players averaging in double figures, and he hits a tough shot. That was just a really difficult shot as far as degree of difficulty.
Davison driving, and he is fouled. It will be a 2-shot foul as you can look at Armstrong court. See, he's new to this rivalry in terms of basketball. He was at Maranatha Christian last year, however, played in the state tournament, so he knows a little bit about that kind of pressure too.
And he's what you call, he's a gamer, right? We saw him make huge plays in football, but really he's just a gamer in basketball as well, as Davison gets the first one to go down. What's interesting too is you're going to see Armstrong, he's going to pick Brad Davison up full court, and Davison's too smart, and if he can break that pressure, then like we saw in that last possession, someone else from Osseo is going to have to cut his lane off to the basket.
John Bezdicek quickly in for Osseo because that was Dante Jones' second foul already, and we're less than a minute in. So Osseo probably a little bit deeper bench is what the general feeling is, but it might be tested because Jones, he might have to sit for most of the rest of the first half, or maybe all of it even, with those 2 quick fouls. Anderson keeps the dribble alive down the baseline, but he stepped out or else bounced it out on the way there. They wanted a little slip screen there, but Nico was in the way, you know, not able to get that dump off to Betty as he cut to the hoop.
Not only is he in the way, but you see how long his arm, I mean, that's like throwing through a brick wall. He's a big boy, and if he extends his arms defensively, he can have such an impact on the game, just from that aspect, and also as a shot blocker.
Davison gets a screen over to Bredensteiner. I think he traveled. Yeah, ball caught up on his hip a little bit as he made the catch and tried to go up with it.
Now, what's interesting about Pickford being out with that knee injury is Brad is a smart player. He's not selfish. He'll make the right pass. How are these new players, like we said, where are those 18 points going to come in?
Knocked away, but Crimson unable to control it, so Osseo will get the ball back here. There's a look at Taiwan Pickford, and our thoughts with him right now is got to be a real tough thing. He had a real nice year last year. He's having a real good year this year, really coming on of late and everything. Inside to Betty, ooh, and that one swatted away to Ron Pickford with the block. Pickford up with it here for the Crimson. Armstrong defending him. 3-2 Maple Grove early. Pickford cut off at the baseline, gets it back out though to Nico. Davison will come and get it. Anderson now checking him, and we get a foul call on Anderson pushing his way through the screen. There's Nick Schroeder, the Crimson coach, who played here at Osseo, of course, and was an assistant here for a bit as well.
I was kidding around with Coach Schroeder, asking him if this is Nick Schroeder Court, if they were going to rename it after his playing career. He said maybe after tonight if they get to win.
He shot in the old gym here at Osseo before this one was open.
You talk about being a good shooter. Nick was absolutely one of the best.
Pickford looking inside. Betty fronting Nico. Teron Pickford will line it up. Way short though. Bredensteiner getting to it, but couldn't quite control it. Showing an active reach for that one, but couldn't quite get it. As we look at Tim Tyson, the Orioles head coach, just got his 300th win a couple of weeks back, and
one of the best in the business, no question about it. Built a heck of a program here, and interesting too when
Betty has it denied by Nico, but he goes again.
And there, you know, that size difference, but he's just got such a motor, and he's a very quick leaper. You see, he got that first shot block, already back up with it before Nico had a chance to get established as another shot blocker.
Hutchison stops and nails the jumper there for the Crimson. First bucket of the game for them. And they go back up 5-4. Here's Armstrong launching. Won't go. Nico the rebound. Davison. Bredensteiner hangs in the air and scores.
How about Bredensteiner that time running the break, knowing he's going to get the ball in a perfect scoring position, hangs in the air, and is able to finish. That's a big bucket for a confidence builder in his first start.
Anderson slips it down low to Bezdacek. Oh, and Nico, a huge block, but then he's hurt as he fell over Bezdacek. And it is going to be an official timeout for the injury, it looks like. Nico, a tremendous block. It looked like Bezdacek had an open layup.
Watch the ground he covers there, Jay, from the opposite block all the way over. And what you worry about on a fall like that is your wrist. I've seen a lot of guys, they fall on that wrist, they try to brace themselves, they end up hurting their wrist, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
Tim Tyson saying, you know, nice block up top, but he landed right on my guy. Why is that not a foul? And they are going to take Nico out now because they stopped the game for him, and Jared Martinson will come in to replace him. Nico's fired up. There's no doubt about it. He saw him earlier in the game when there was a foul called for a guy pushing through the screen on him. He's ready.
I think there's been games when they felt like he could dominate and he doesn't. And I think tonight in this rivalry game, this atmosphere, the magnitude, the conference leader on the line, there's a beautiful drive by Davison. You know, and Brad's one of those guys, he reminds me of when I played. He doesn't look quick, but he just finds a way to get by you. You know, he's just got great body control, and he's so smart.
Tyson getting his first attempt. It's off the front of the rim. Bredensteiner runs it down here for the Crimson and over to Davison. They have an early 5-point lead. Osseo struggling a little bit at home to start. To Ron Pickford for the layup. Timeout Osseo.
Well, this is exactly how you want to start. On the road, hostile environment, you want to jump on them early. And Maple Grove did that beautiful pass. And Teron Pickford that time attacks the basket. There you see the difference of not having a shot blocker on the floor. Maple Grove feeling like they can attack the rim without any repercussion. And they've gotten a number of baskets at the rim here early.
Crimson leading at 11-4 as they have also drawn 3 fouls on Osseo, been to the line a little bit, so overall pretty solid start for the visitors here. Osseo looking a little disjointed, trying to get into their offense.
I think there's something to be said too when you lose a really important player, their leading scorer in Pickford. These kids hear the rumors. They hear, oh, you guys are going to lose now. You're not nearly as good. They come out with a little bit extra chip on their shoulder to say, hey, we lost a guy, but we're just as good, just as dangerous. And I think that attitude's kind of carried them here early.
Kyle Williams checking into the game, number 20 for Osseo. Nico is back in for Maple Grove here, so Williams will bring it up court here for the Orioles. Bezdacek looking for a cutting Betty, and he lost it on the way up. It hits the bottom of the backboard and out of bounds off Osseo. It wasn't blocked by Nico, but he knew he was there.
Well, and that's what a shot blocker does. Just his presence can alter shots.
They look to double up on Davison, but he's able to get up court with it. Now Hutchison will stop and pop that jumper in and out. Teron Pickford the rebound, and it's going to be a push-off on Teron Pickford to clear himself some space.
Well, Jack Hutchinson, that's a shot they'd love to have him have. He's a great shooter. And how about, I don't know about you, but Teron Pickford looks like he's got trampoline underneath his shoes. Doesn't he got some bounce to him? He was way up there on that rebound, but they got him with a push-off on it.
Came over from Cooper, of course. He's Taiwan Pickford's cousin. Williams down to the baseline. Bezdacek kicks it back out. Williams driving, offensive foul, led with that lead right arm.
I'll tell you what, Bredensteiner, who normally doesn't start, he's 6'4". He's playing excellent perimeter defense. Maybe understanding he's not going to replace the scoring of Taiwan Pickford, but defensively, he's sure playing a heck of a start to this game.
Well, when I asked Coach Schroeder about him, that was the first thing he mentioned is he's a good defender. So got to contribute any way you can. He'll be counted on a lot, not only tonight, but the rest of the season. Davison looking to attack and draws the foul.
Well, and that's a new thing this year. You're seeing Brad as he's not a sophomore anymore. He's an upperclassman. He's a junior. He's a big, strong kid. They go to that play where they ISO him down in the post. And just got excellent footwork, good timing, knew he was going to draw contact, and he found a way to get to the free throw line.
Davison's free throw bounces around and out. One more try coming for the junior. Gets the second one to go here, so Maple Grove leading now by 8. Williams looking for the lob for Armstrong. Oh, and he almost put it down. And then we get a grab on Bredensteiner there as he was going for loose ball. Davison read this one, but he just couldn't quite get up enough to knock it away. And Armstrong almost completed a spectacular one.
I saw that back pick coming, and when that ball left, I thought there's no way anybody's going to go up and get that. DeMario Armstrong way above the rim, almost threw it down.
Bredensteiner back-to-back fouls. That one was pretty obvious as he got out and grabbed him. I was going to say the only guy that I've seen do that even better when we've covered games, Rodney Williams, would go up to the top of the square and throw that one down. But Armstrong, he was pressured a little bit too. I mean, it wasn't just an open lane to go get it. Subbing in for Maple Grove there is Bubba Horton, number 33. Great baseball player. He's going to go to the U of M to play baseball. Got away from Tyson almost and over and back.
Yeah, and I think that the big topic of this game was, you know, the athleticism of Osseo against the guards of Maple Grove.
Bezdacek, little crossover. It's a 2, a long 2 for John Bezdacek.
Well, and that's a big plus. If he can get going, averaging over 8 points a game, just a beautiful move.
And it's stripped away from Davison. They get the turnover. Here's Armstrong out ahead of the field. No good. Betty's follow-up is good.
And that's Betty's game. Defensive rebounds, down low, doing the dirty work. Again, a quick leaper. Armstrong, I think, felt Nico coming at him.
Pickford saves it, and it goes off of Betty, though. fortunate to get it back for Maple Grove.
Yeah, and watch, I think Reed Nico out of the corner of his eye had to rush that, Damari Armstrong did, and just Betty able to catch and finish. Excellent transition. 2 big buckets there by Osseo to get back into this game.
Hutchison and Williams denying it, knocks it away. Both coaches taking the opportunity to work some officials all the time on a lot of contact, a lot of pressure put on the ball. They look to trap Davison, but he gets it over to Hutchison. Now Pickford with Marmar Hughes defending him, gets it to Horton and he traveled. Horton took that little hop step after he'd already caught the ball. It was kind of like a jump stop, except for it was too late in the process.
Well, when you're playing against a really pressure athletic team like Osseo, you tend to play faster. And sometimes you shuffle your feet and you start thinking about what you're going to do when you catch it. You've got to slow down a little bit, handle the pressure. That's going to be the big key tonight, Maple Grove ability to not only handle the pressure, but then attack it, be able to get good looks.
Hughes, a step back. Nico either got a piece of it or bothered it at least. Not a particularly good shot there. And Horton travels for a second straight time. Martinson will quickly come up off the bench here for Maple Grove, and Horton's going to sit down, just kind of get himself settled. And coming in for Osseo is Matt Bezdacek, who's been injured all year. They're going to try and work him in later in this year. He got hurt in the fall league. They thought he might be a starter for them this year, and so he's coming in, and he could be kind of a wild card down the stretch of the regular season for Osseo if they can get him back to playing full. Looks like Pickford will be called for this reaching foul on the Crimson. So early on it was Osseo picking up fouls. Now Bredensteiner and Pickford each have 2, so that doesn't help their cause.
Well, they got to play pressure without fouling. And sometimes you pick up that second foul, you don't want to get the third. That's when if I'm on offense, I'm attacking that guy, making him foul me or otherwise maybe get an easy bucket out of that.
Williams giving it back. Behind the back pass there from Bezdacek. Williams way short with it. Marmar Hughes goes up and gets it.
Marmar Hughes above the rim that time. And here's where you're seeing that athleticism. Got to get a body when you're playing against Osseo. Missed shots, they get a ton of second chance points. They crash the offensive rebound.
Hughes almost had the steal. And looks like we have a foul call on Hughes.
Watch this off the missed three-pointer. Watch Marmar Hughes come in and go get it. Osseo too athletic. They're going to win a lot of those jump balls. Got to get a body on them. Got to limit their second chance opportunities.
Horton will check back in as they came and settled him down a little bit after a couple of travelings there. So Davison handling it in the backcourt now for Maple Grove. They've gone cold, so 12-10, lower scoring game than you would expect at this point. That probably overall favors Maple Grove. Davison. Now Horton will kick it back out. Davison puts it on the deck. Collision, and it's just going to be a turnover on Maple Grove. No foul either way.
What I love what Osseo's doing there, as soon as Davison gets on the floor, he's beating his initial guy. You're seeing a second, a third wave of Osseo defenders, and that's forcing Brad to try to give that ball up. And if I'm Osseo, that's what I'm doing. I'm forcing somebody else to make decisions, somebody else to hit tough shots rather than Brad Davison.
Anderson back in there handling it here for the Orioles. A little stop and go, move off the glass and good.
Well, notice who's out of the game for Maple Grove right now, Reed Nico. And as soon as Osseo sees that, they're thinking it's a green light to attack the basket.
We get a foul here on Matt Bezdacek. Nice move by Anderson protecting it.
And here's what's big now with all these early reach-in fouls is Maple Grove's in the bonus. And right now it says going to send Jack Hutchison, who's an excellent shooter, to the free throw line. And sometimes to stop the bleeding, that's what you need to get. Get to the free throw line, get a couple of easy free throws to go down, settle your team down.
Hutchison, though, promptly misses the free throw. And so Osseo a chance to take the lead here as we're even up at 12. Matt Bezdacek with it out high. Behind the back he goes. Kicking it over to John Bezdacek. And for Armstrong, was this tipped or not? Nope, over and back. Osseo saying deflection. I didn't think so from here, but officials are going to get together. And they're saying it was not tipped.
What makes me think it wasn't tipped is the flight of the ball didn't change. Usually when you get a tip, it'll slow down, the rotation will change. That time, that was a pretty straight line pass.
And Armstrong fouls Davison trying to get to that ball.
That's the fine line you play when you want to pressure guys, is making those kind of plays. You end up fouling a lot. And again, we got well over half of this first half left to play. Every time there's a foul, Maple Grove is going to be at the line.
One and one for Davison, and he hits. .5 points now for Davison. And he nails a pair. So the Crimson back up by 2. Anderson quickly attacking, lost his footing, but gets it back. Bezdacek, a shot fake, then a little pull up. Too strong, bounces 3-4 times and falls in.
That's some home cooking rims right there. But an excellent move. He's got a quick release, doesn't he? He makes that move, he's stopped on a dime, able to bury that little mid-range. Big bucket.
Davison goes around Armstrong, alley-oop, and Nico hammers it down.
Well, what a decision, first of all, by Brad to beat his guy. Great body control to get through a second wave of help defense, and just a great pass, and there's no one better in this game to finish it than Reed Nico.
Bezdacek gonna take that pull-up again, off the glass and good.
That's not an easy shot when you got a 6'9" guy extended in your face, but he's able to get some mark on it, and he buries it. Something tells me, Jay, we're gonna have a lot of back and forth, a lot of tie games here throughout the rest of this evening.
Pickford goes to his knees, Armstrong the takeaway. Armstrong to the hoop, lays it in.
That's Osseo basketball this year. Pressure defense, force a turnover, easy break and transition. Demario Armstrong, just a super athlete.
Davison stops, pulls up, hits.
That's body control, going full speed, able to stop on a dime and hit the mid-range.
And then Hughes driving to the hoop is fouled by Horton.
Well, it sure seems like the referees they're calling everything pretty tight here. Players, it's up to them to adjust here and try to play defense without fouling, as there's Demario Armstrong. I think the crowd was expecting a big throwdown right there. But either way, 2 points, 2 points.
We're going to come back with Dante Jones, who got those 2 fouls in the first minute of the game. But as Ryan said, a lot of fouls being committed. I think you might have to go with guys even if they've got a couple. Anderson a miss, Nico the board. Pickford right back for Davison, wants that screen and roll. Bezdacek trying to not let Nico get over there for the screen. Davison turns the corner, off the glass, and good.
I mean, how do you defend that? It's just a really great play. A ball screen, Brad just goes all the way around. Great body control, takes contact, and finishes off the rim. Yeah, they're going to delay a game on White after. When that ball goes through as an offensive player, you got to just let it go and let the defense inbound it right away. That's as impressive as an offensive move as I've seen all year, that last make by Brad Davison.
Matt Bezdacek turns and scores. He's obviously been working hard to get back and ready to play.
He's been a spark, and we've seen a couple of behind-the-back passes and a couple of quick hits. He's been a big spark off the bench.
Davison, a tough fading shot, and it bounces over the backboard and out of play. He was drifting left. That's a hard one to make.
Now watch this spin move right into the jump shot. Quick release, too. And that's what you do. When you're playing a great player, you don't let them keep attacking you. You go right back at them, attack them. So you love that attitude. And on Davison's shot there, sometimes when you're feeling it, you'll live with a player who makes as many plays as he does. taking a bad shot every now and then.
Armstrong to Jones in the corner.
That's where you'd like to see Jones maybe take advantage of his quickness with Nico on him on the perimeter.
Anderson spinning into the lane and fouled by Pickford, and if so, that'll be his third. That's big for Maple Grove, number 3 on Teron Pickford.
It's huge, and it's so tempting as a defender to want to get that steal, but you got to know when you got 2 fouls, you just play solid defense. And again, you get your hands caught in that cookie jar, you're going to get caught more often than not.
Anderson's free throw no good, and not to get on Teron there, but I don't know what he was arguing about. I looked on the replay like a pretty obvious foul. Anderson trying to make him pay at the line. He misses the first, but the second one is good. So Osseo leading at 21-20 as Davison brings it up. Redensteiner back in there now for the Crimson. Lob underneath, Nico hammers it down, plus a foul.
That is what Maple Grove fans have wanted to see consistently out of Reed Nico. Beautiful high-low feed. Watch that footwork in those hands. He catches, he turns, he keeps the ball up here, and he explodes. No finishing at the basket better than that. He throws it down with a dunk. That's the dominant play that this kid could give Maple Grove every night. When he plays this way, they become not just one of the best teams, but maybe the best in Minnesota. Great basketball.
Nico finishes the three-point play. Anderson running it back hard the other way, so Crimson by 2. Williams back cut Bezicek, but then throws it away as he was looking for Betty cutting down the lane.
It was the right idea, but again, that's the presence of Nico on there, right? That's a shot that I think he would normally take. Seeing the big fella come over, forced to make a pass that wasn't quite developed yet.
Davison driving, layup good.
And again, that's the advantage of having shooters by you there. Osseo not willing to help out on those shooters. Davison takes it all the way. You got to stop him. Have that extra layer of defense waiting for him.
Williams over to Betty, but Nico blocked it. And out of bounds off of Davison. Nico has gotten quicker off his feet, too. I mean, obviously, you're 6'10", you're probably going to block some shots, but he's also gotten, off the floor a little quicker.
So on that play we just saw, do you see Betty? He's hugging Reed Nico out at the three-point line. He's got to be in help and take that penetration away, force a pass out to the perimeter. You can't let Brad Davison get an easy look like that.
4-point lead for Maple Grove here. 5:45 to go, first half. Anderson to the baseline, but cut off. Keeps the dribble going. Whoa, globetrotter move, and then a foul on Nico.
What about that ball handling?
Marcus Haynes right there.
Watch him get down to the ground. I think Maple Grove kind of stopped, but he finishes it. And again, anytime you come across the body like that, that's an easy call for the officials. And what's big about that, that's only Reed's first foul, but if they could get him into another set of foul trouble, and he's out of the game, it's a completely different game.
Anderson's free throw spins out. Those are the kind that you kind of almost are pulling from to go in, so he can complete the the spectacular play there, the to the knees and up the dribble.
If he had knee pads on, I would have think that might have been a design play, but just a great body control footwork to keep his dribble too.
The older one was Marcus Haynes, and then Curly Neal later on was the globetrotter who specialized in such things. Timeout for Maple Grove here as the Crimson holding on to a 4-point lead, but I think both teams a little bit concerned with fouls starting to mount up, and not just fouls as a team, but on certain individuals.
No, absolutely, and you got to think too, Osseo has been in this game, really without getting anything from Zach Tyson, their leading scorer. I don't think has a bucket yet. Maybe not even a shot attempt. Yeah, one shot attempt. And there's a look at the Class 4A state rankings. Hopkins number 1. I mean, this is as deep of a top 10 as I've maybe seen in a long time. Hopkins maybe as good as I've ever seen him, Jay. Apple Valley, of course, Maple Grove, Osseo, Champlin, Wayzata, Armstrong. Look at all the teams that we cover here on 12 Sports. just a really fun time to be covering this area as far as boys basketball and girls basketball too.
And Maple Grove coach Nick Schroeder said they were fortunate to win over at Armstrong the other night. They didn't play especially well. Brad Davison really heated up, but he said if he doesn't make all those shots, we probably lose that game to Armstrong. So, and Osseo, same kind of deal. They had a real tough one. They were down to Armstrong on the road by 4 points with about a minute to go and won that.
Armstrong is one of those teams, especially with Greg Miller at the coach, that no one's going to want to play come playoff time. They got a couple of young guys that are still learning how good they can be, and they're going to get better and better. And it's just a really top to bottom, just a really, really good conference right now.
Davison into the front court. The trap comes at him. Now Hutchison to the baseline. Pull up is short. Nico, though, grabs it. He misses inside, gets it back again, and pounds it home.
I have never seen him play with this level of aggression. He's angry at that rim, and he's letting them know, but he's finishing it with power. And you can see there's just nobody, not only in this gym, but maybe in the state of Minnesota, that can defend that when he plays like that. That's got to be just a huge positive for Nick Schroeder.
There's Nico with the block right there. Down low it comes Betty, leaving it for Williams, and he is fouled. And we'll see if they get Bredensteiner or Nico. It's going to be Nico.
And that's his second. And just watch the aggression. Look at him go get that. He keeps the ball up high. He fights with it. Now watch him finish with power right here. You'll love to see that.
You know, I talked to him about that earlier this year. Even in practice, he was pretty much dunking everything. And you know, you might think, well, big deal, it's practice, but it would just kind of show the mindset.
That's the thing. When you have a player like that, you develop that mindset where I'm going to dunk everything, and repetition becomes habit. Habit ends up happening here in a game. Did they change who the foul was on that?
That's what I'm wondering if. They were explaining something. I don't know. Doesn't look like they changed it though. Williams will pick up or miss the free throw. Excuse me.
Coach Schroeder opted to leave Reed Nico in the game with his second foul. Of course, as soon as I say that,
Martinson comes back in.
But you know why that's big? Not only what we've seen offensively, but you saw when Reed was out of the ball game, Osseo felt liberated to attack the basket, right? So it's such a huge difference, I think, when he's not in the basketball game.
And Williams unable to convert on the second one either. Now here is a pull-up from Horton, and in and out. Bredensteiner up for the rebound, was tied up by Anderson. And the held ball goes Osseo's way.
I'll tell you what, Bredensteiner has really come in and given this team some energy, hasn't he? He's playing that great defense, but also that time he's showing his athleticism, going way up to get that jump ball. But we'll just see the difference here with Reed Nico out of the ball game with 2 early fouls. The Osseo feels like they can attack the basket a little bit more easier.
Knocked away as Tyson made the pass, but they get it back. Here's DeMario Armstrong driving into traffic. Off the glass, no good. Martinson battling and gets control of the rebound. Now Davison. Davison dishing. Here's Horton, but he missed it. Gets it back. Martinson does and scores.
Well, Martinson averaged just over 3 points a game, so not a big score, but that time fights for the offensive rebound, able to knock it down.
Matt Bezdacek, a 3, no good. Bredensteiner boards it. Davison driving, and they called for the travel.
I think that one could have gone either way, some definite contact. It looks like he stepped on his foot right there. Lucky to get out of that without turning an ankle. I'll tell you, Brad's really good driving to his right. It's almost like if he's determined to get somewhere going right, he's going to get there.
Tyson, shot fake, pulls up for the quick 3, but too short. Rebound Bezdacek, back out to Tyson. They've done a very good job on him. Now he gets free, but misses it. Davison, the rebound, thought about throwing it long, but instead, walk it up here with an 8-point lead. Williams got a piece of that, but he gets it away to Hutchison. Davison driving down the lane, and he scores again. Wow, he's proving to be tough to stop off the dribble.
Well, he can beat the early defender without any issue whatsoever, but that's where you got to have that second level of defense. You got to help. And you can see he's breaking his guys down, and right there, that's where you got to step up and take a charge on a guy like that. And if you take a charge on him, you maybe take away some of that aggression and his attacking ability. He's just so potent at getting to the rim. And with 2:53, Osseo down 10. This is when they need to make a little bit of run with the big fella for Maple Grove on the bench.
Yeah, Maple Grove would love to, be able to maintain the lead and take it into the second half without having to use Nico again, and to preserve the keep at 2.
That's why this 2.5 minutes here remaining is such a big part of the game. And really, Osseo leaving a lot of points out on the free throw line.
9-point lead for Grove. Horton over to Hutchison. He goes on the drive, and the pull-up is good.
You're really known more as just a shooter, but that time gets to the rim and hits a really tough shot.
There's a tough shot taken and missed by Matt Bezdacek. Hutchison looking to attack the other way. Stops, pulls up, not there that time.
A fadeaway, you got to get your legs into it when you're sprinting up and down the court. That's a difficult shot.
Armstrong's pull up, no good, and Martinson rebounds it. Maple Grove doing a pretty solid job on the defensive glass.
Yep, boxing out, keeping Osseo off the offensive glass, and also taking care of the basketball. With the exception of a couple of plays, really doing a nice job taking care of the basketball, getting their offense going, and getting good shots.
Bredensteiner with it in the corner, back up top here to Davison. 1:50 in the half, an 11-point lead. Davison dumps it down low. Horton was fouled. That kind of raked across the head there as he went up with that one, and he'll shoot free throws.
I think Horton was surprised that ball came. It looked like it was going to be a pull-up jump shot. And again, we talk about Brad Davison being a quarterback, all that blah, blah, blah. But that's what that is, right? He's about to take that shot, and then he sees he's got a teammate that can get a better shot, and he makes that decision. He makes a lot of really good decisions, and as a coach, knowing you got a kid like that you just trust with the ball, Jay, trust making those decisions, it's a great thing. It doesn't happen very often.
Horton's second free throw, no good. Osseo making some substitutions. Anderson back in there, Betty back in there, Marmar Hughes as well. And Anderson was fouled as he went to the hoop, and then a collision. They get all tangled up inside. I think Bredensteiner picked up the foul out top, and let's hope everyone's all right there as Anderson and Davison collide. It is indeed on Bredensteiner, so he has 3, as does Pickford.
I'll tell you, Osseo lucky, because that looked like that was a charge. That looked like Brad Davison.
Well, they'd already gotten it prior to that.
On the drive, yeah. And that's where Osseo has the advantage in this ballgame, I think, is on the perimeter as far as collective depth, being able to drive and attack on the perimeter, especially when they're in the double bonus now. That's what I would be doing here the last minute 37.
Free throw, no good. Again, Orioles struggling a bit at the line here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they are, but I bet they've left a good 7 or 8 points. Yeah, 2 for 9 at the free throw line.
And these are the rims they practice on every day. So, but game time's a little different situation, obviously. So back to an 11-point lead here for Maple Grove as Hughes defending Davison.
And Maple Grove, I think, thought that may be some hand checking going on in the front court.
Mike Alou, number 15, is in there as another ball handler for Maple Grove. Davison trying to split between a double team, and he was fouled. I think it will be Betty who picks it up.
And that's where those early fouls really play a role, Jay. These last couple minutes when you get fouls that are 30 feet away from the basket now, it's not a 1-and-1, it's 2 shots. And it's that fine line. You don't ever want to, as a coach, tell your kids, especially when you've had the success Osseo has, is, hey, stop being so aggressive. on defense, but at some point you got to do it without fouling, especially with the way the referees are calling this game. You got to make the adjustment to it.
Second free throw also good for Davison, so the lead up to a dozen. They'll make that 13. Inside, here's Betty with the layup.
Great pass by Anderson. Betty able to catch and finish. Again, I think showing how nice it is not having the big fella in the game, able to finish at the rim without a worry of a block shot.
Betty will be called for the block as Davison tight-roped around him on the sideline. And
watch this pass, a great look. And able to finish nice and easy at the rim, but then on the other end, a foul 30 feet away from the basket, trying to pressure Brad Davison. I think you got to play him without fouling him and giving him 2 free throws every time down the floor.
Maple Grove has gone 10 out of 14 from the line, make it 11 out of 15. Davison really racking up the points here in this first half as the lead is now at a dozen with exactly a minute to play here in the opening half. And he makes another. Osseo looking to push it back quickly. Anderson. Oh, a nice move again. Got it for Bezicek, but a good steal by Davison, unable to keep it in play, however.
And lucky for Maple Grove, too, because he tried to throw that one off. Osseo was going to catch that and able to score. So
Hughes will inbound here for Osseo. Now Bezicek. Back for Marmar Hughes.
And Osseo really not getting anything going from the three-point line.
Bezicek popping from the corner. It's in and out, and a foul on Lou trying to block out Tyson, and he was not in position to be able to keep him out of there, so he'll be whistled for the foul. And this will be double bonus. Zach Tyson, as we said, not on the board as of yet.
And that fall's huge for this reason. Zach, a great shooter. He's going to get a chance to get 2 free throws, able to get that ball into the basket, able to maybe get a little bit of a rhythm here before halftime. So I think that's a big foul, besides the obvious 2 points it could result in, but I think for just his confidence and his rhythm.
Second one is also good, so Osseo battling back to within 11 again. Very slow on the scoreboard here a lot of times on updating points. Davison kicks it to the corner. Horton is going to let it fly, but in and out. Anderson the rebound. Osseo wanting to get it under 10 here before the half. He'll pull up, and he hits. Alan Anderson knocks it down for the Orioles, and they are to within 9 points. Davison traveled. He did that little curl with the ball there that he likes to do, but some officials won't call that, some will, and they did right there. So Osseo really a chance to close the half strong here after they'd fallen behind by a dozen. They're within 9, and they will have the chance for a last shot here with 8 seconds to go. Anderson looking to get a high screen. Anderson wants to attack. Kicks it to Hughes, but it'll be too late. Doesn't get the shot off in time. And we have reached halftime here. Solid first half on the road for Maple Grove, although Osseo cut it a little bit toward the end there. So a 38-29 lead for Maple Grove. Fouls mounting up a little bit for both teams too. Let's go over to Ryan now, who's standing by with Coach Schroeder.
All right, thanks, Jay. Hey, Nick, you're on the road facing a team that's undefeated. You're up 9 at halftime. What do you think of that?
I'll take it. We're not playing great right now. We're rushing things. We're forcing things. A few of our guys that are getting more minutes than they normally see are trying to adapt to the exciting atmosphere. So I think we'll have a much calmer, more patient second half.
You knew Osseo was going to come out and pressure you guys, especially Brad. I thought he did a great job of attacking them back and getting by the initial defender. There's no help. Is that the plan in the second half, to just keep attacking?
Well, yeah, and, if they're going to come up and pressure like that, Brad's talented enough to be strong with that basketball, and he's going to get fouled. We'll go to the free throw line. We'll shoot free throws all night.
So you think it's his talent? I've been saying all broadcast it was your coaching. Do you dispute that?
It's his talent. It's got to be him.
Thanks, Nick. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, and thanks to Coach Schroeder. We'll hear from Coach Tyson, of course, later as well. And as Ryan said, an old teammate of his, Nick Schroeder, in AAU days. So good first half here, especially for Maple Grove, although Osseo definitely chipped away at the end, and a lot of basketball to play in the second half. We'll come back with more here of our coverage from a jam-packed Osseo gym as the Crimson lead the Orioles 38-29.
Teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
An eating disorder feels like having another person inside your head. It kind of built this wall around me.
The main thing that we needed was hope.
Your age, your gender, your ethnicity. Eating disorders don't discriminate. They can strike anyone. The National Eating Disorders Association has the information and resources to steer people and their families toward the road to recovery.
Call or visit the NEDA website today for help and hope.
Welcome back here to Osseo as Maple Grove leading at 38-29 behind a big 18-point half from Brad Davison. We'll take a look at some first half highlights in this one. Nice pull up here, nailed by John Bezdacek for the Orioles as he got a little bit hot there for a stretch. And then the steal for Armstrong, and he takes it all the way for the layup.
And that's something I expect to see more of in the second half. Osseo pressure defense creating easy opportunities in transition.
Underneath, great pass from Anderson to Betty for the layup there for the Orioles. Strong rebound as Hughes goes back up for the layup there.
And again, one of the very few offensive rebounds we saw converted into points, and that's something we saw a lot of. Brad Davison breaking his defender down and getting to the rim pretty easily.
Hutchison, a nice fake and pull-up jumper there for the Crimson. And then Davison dishing to Pickford, and he's able to finish, but his foul trouble definitely impacted that first half.
Yep.
There's the alley-oop over to Nico.
And that was a big play, not only for the play, but just the energy that it gives to the crowd and everyone in the building. When here's a great play. Watch him keep with it and just finishes with authority. He had 3 big slams in that first half.
They get a look at the scoring leaders as Davison with 18 to lead the way for Maple Grove. Nico with 9. Bezdacek, Anderson, and Betty. And conspicuously absent there is Zach Tyson as he got 2 points on late free throws. Was it for Osseo?
Yeah, Nico, he only averages 9.4 on the year, so he's at his season average, so he's picking up some of that scoring. Brad Davison having a huge night. What'll be interesting, Jay, is what does Osseo do defensively, adjusting-wise, knowing that the fouls are the way they're being called? How do they change? How do they try to get someone other than Brad Davison to handle the basketball?
So 38-29 Maple Grove. We will come back with more of our live coverage here of Northwest Suburban boys basketball between the Crimson and the Orioles.
Hey, did you buy something from some gaming site?
What do you mean?
Yeah, look, there's a bunch of different charges on here.
Do you think someone stole our credit card information?
I don't know. That site sounds familiar, though.
Yeah, isn't that the site that Billy's on all the time?
You don't think.
Billy! Stop and think before you connect. Playing online is serious business. Visit dhs.gov/stopthinkconnect for tips on how to be safe online.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
The world is online, and we're all connected. While there's a lot to explore and discover, we each need to do our part to keep the internet safe. Cybersecurity starts with you. Learn how you can stay safe online at dhs.gov/stopthinkconnect.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
And eating.
Welcome back here to Osseo, a 9-point lead for Maple Grove. They briefly got it up into double digits before Osseo chipped away a little bit in the final moments of the half. See a great crowd on hand, including the Osseo fans over there in pink. Support Cancer Night here, and Maple Grove fans, a lot of them, the students anyway, are clad in white T-shirts here. So been a great crowd as expected, and a very large crowd. See, Maple Grove has definitely fared better shooting the ball, both from the field and certainly from the free throw line. The free throws, Osseo made a few late. They were even worse than that, and that was one big problem for them, certainly. And they have not yet made a three-pointer, nor has Maple Grove. So a lot of times you think the game has, really evolved into a lot of three-point makes, but so far that has not been happening for either team this evening. So look at the West Division of the Northwest Suburban. You see Osseo and Maple Grove each at 8-0. Armstrong is 5-3. Park Center also 5-3 after a win over Spring Lake Park the other day. So Pirates, these two teams having a great seasons, but also Park Center, the third team in District 279, kind of a surprise success story too. They are really on a good roll and playing well also. Be interesting to see if the foul situation, changes as we talked about late in that first half. Both teams needing to adjust a little bit, and obviously you can't help much from the bench, so try and stay out on the court. Pickford has 3 fouls, and as does Bredensteiner for Maple Grove, and Williams off the bench had 3 for Osseo. Betty and Armstrong each had 2, so they're probably in a better spot in that regard, I would say, for Osseo. They also probably a little bit deeper team anyway. Let's go over to Ryan.
All right, thanks, Jay. Tim, you're down 9 at home. What'd you think of that first half?
Well, we didn't do what we tried to do at the beginning. And credit Brad Davison. He controlled the tempo in that first half, split our defense pretty easily. So we got to make a couple adjustments, try to get that ball out of his hands a little bit quicker.
So when you're guarding a guy like that, is it denying him the basketball, or is it just sending another guy? Is it just having an over-awareness on help? How do you do that?
It's both. We got to deny him the ball. Right now we're letting him catch the ball, and he's doing what he wants. We got to deny him at first. Once he gets it, then we'll send help his way.
How do you get some of your shooters going in the second half?
Well, again, credit Maple Grove. They're playing great defense. We have a number of set plays that we'll try to do to free up some shooters, so let's hope that happens, all right?
You guys haven't had a lot of adversity this year. You're leading the state as far as scoring margin and average of victory. How will these guys respond to being down 9 at halftime?
Well, they're a little upset in that locker room. we got selfish. And when we got selfish, we started to do some things individually. We got to start playing team basketball. Pass up a good shot for a great shot.
Thanks, Tim. Good luck in the second half. All right, back to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan. And Ryan will make his way back over and have a seat next to me here for half number 2. And Coach Tyson, you know, you can see he's still calm about things. They didn't love the way the first half went by any means, but you just got to dig in and do some things a little bit different in the second half. They're very much still within this game and still a good opportunity to close the gap in a hurry. I think they would definitely like to see the pace of this game picked up. It isn't just a matter of turning the dial and that happens. You have to kind of make it happen against a team that isn't really looking to run with you, and we'll see if Osseo is able to do so. So here we go, half number 2 is Anderson into the front court. Betty with it out high. Anderson puts it on the deck, pull-up jumper, leans back and hits.
Well, that's a huge shot, Jay, just from the momentum standpoint, but also that was a difficult shot. And I think those are the kind of shots that Osseo's got to start hitting. And there's a turnover defensively, so you're seeing right out of the gate this Osseo team fired up.
I think their key is getting to Davison before he's had a chance to really get himself set and go up court there, and they doubled him up.
That's a great point. He's fast. He's faster than you think, and he gets that head of steam going. It's hard to run a second guy at him and slow him down. So that time able to slow him down before he gets going. And really, I'd force someone else on Maple Grove to handle the pressure other than Brad Davison.
Anderson lobbing it down low for Betty. Betty off the back of the iron, no good. Little contact there. Osseo wanted a foul, but Nico, they ruled he held his ground decent enough.
Yeah, I think Osseo knows the value. If they were able to get a third quick foul on Reed Nico, that could be a huge game.
Davison nails the first 3 of the game for either club.
Well, then it becomes, what do you do when you got a kid that can drive the way he can, and if he starts shooting from the perimeter, he really becomes a nightmare to defend.
Jones unable to get it to drop. Pickford had it. It squirts out of his hands. Armstrong the save.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, clearly.
Well, when you've just changed halves, it takes a minute to adjust to which team's going which way, and I think that's all that was.
Yeah, very interesting to see. Obviously, Coach Tyson's not going to give away the game plan to us at halftime, but how are they going to change their defense, their strategy against Brad Davison?
Hutchison picks up the dribble out high, needs some help. And they're going to use a timeout to bail him out of it there. As that is exactly what Osseo wants to see. I mean, yes, you'd even more love to get a steal and a layup, but to make them pick up the dribble, that's where it starts.
Well, how do you kill a snake, Jay? You cut the head off of it, right? You know, and not to say that the rest of the Maple Grove team isn't capable of coming up with some plays, because they are, but they've been so accustomed to Brad Davison making 80 to 90% of the decisions with the ball in his hand. They aren't the same team. And if you can ever find a way to slow him down or neutralize him and make someone else make the decisions and handle that pressure, then you got a shot. You got a real shot to beat them.
And obviously he's versatile, but I think you hit on one thing a little bit earlier. Make him go left occasionally, because he generally does not. And I'm not saying he can't, but let's see if he can, if you're Osseo.
What's interesting in watching him, when Brad goes right, he has a tendency to get all the way to the rim. When he goes left, it has a tendency to be more for a jump shot.
Here's Hutchison putting it on the deck. Up and over Tyson, but it's short. Bounces around wildly. Nico up with it, and he is fouled.
And that's the one thing that I think makes Maple Grove so good, is let's say you do slow Brad Davison down. You make someone else take a tough shot. Well, you got this 6'9" kid who's not too shabby either, and especially the way he's 6'10", excuse me. Don't mean to slight him, give him that full.
I think they listed him at 6'9" a year ago, and he said he had grown an inch.
But you know what I mean, when he's playing like this, where he's just relentless on the glass, then it's a handful to defend.
Second free throw, no good. That was the third foul, by the way, on Dante Jones. But Osseo pretty deep in the backcourt when they can bring Hughes and Williams, guys like that, off. Underneath for Jones, and there's Nico erasing that one with the left hand. Davison into a double team, is tied up. Uh-oh. Keep the elbows down, guys.
You know, and you talked about Nico looking like he's a little more agile. His jumping ability a lot quicker. It used to take him some time to kind of gather himself, go up and block. He's going right up and blocking it. But how about Osseo's defense there, Time? You know, that's what they're doing again. 2 guys slowing him down. It's been a big improvement here so far.
Davison driving it to the hoop, blocked by Betty. Out to Tyson. Tyson, I think, was grabbed there a little bit. No basket. It was a foul as he was just finishing dribbling. Hutchison got him.
Well, the question here, and here's that defense. Again, excellent job. Force a tough shot. Betty comes over with the block. And they're going to call that foul on the floor.
And I think it was the right call. I think a lot of people didn't realize when the whistle had blown, but it was when he was still dribbling. And Hutchison, I think I don't think on purpose, but he kind of grabbed his jersey or caught it in his hand on the way by. And even Hutchison kind of realized that he had done it. Here's Armstrong turning into the middle. Pass tip, but Jones will run it down.
You see Osseo just a little different when Nico's in the game. Not attacking quite the same authority that they normally do.
That's a kick as they try to dump it into Cameron Betty. I do think even though it's going to be difficult maybe for him to score right over Nico, it's still important to use Betty, even if he doesn't shoot it. If you go in and out or a cutter or something like that.
Well, and on the flip side, Betty's got the quickness advantage. So maybe if you can get him a little bit away from the basket, force Nico to come out on the perimeter. Oh, there's a beautiful drive. Beautiful drive.
Armstrong finishing his 3rd bucket.
And again, Betty came out on the perimeter. Nico followed him out there. You get the big guy away from the basket, and then it opens up driving lanes. Nice job by the Orioles, taking advantage of it.
Pickford down the lane, scores and one. Pickford had foul trouble in that first half, so he's a little quiet as he bodies sprawling on the floor there, but did a good job protecting it.
What a great move by Pickford, but did you see DeMario Armstrong had a chance? Normally you get off your guy on the perimeter and help, and instead he stays on Brad Davison out on the perimeter, and a nice job by Teron Pickford attacking the basket and showing his strength. Only 6 foot, but very strong, able to finish the layup and the foul.
Now the foul call went against Anderson, and I think he's pleading that he was not the guy who was there, but that's who they give it on, although it was only his first, so not that
Maybe
big a deal.
Take it, yeah.
Davison went for the steal, didn't get it, and Pickford's going to pick up his 4th.
That's number 4.
So they're already missing his cousin Taiwan because of that knee injury, and now Teron Pickford will have to go out, and Bubba Horton will come in to replace him. So a big loss certainly for Maple Grove.
You know, and that's such a hard thing as an aggressive defender. The ball's in front of you, you just have that instinct to go for it. But you've got to be disciplined when you're facing foul trouble.
To the corner, here's Bezdacek, John Bezdacek, no good. Rebound grab by Hutchison.
See, here's an early double team. Again, getting the ball out of Brad's hands. Nice job by Osseo.
Armstrong went for the steal, missed it. Davison short with that 3. So even though they didn't get the steal, they maybe forced a quicker shot, even though it was wide open.
Well, it was a good 5 feet behind the 3-point line, too.
Anderson nails a pull-up. Hand in his face. Anderson starting to feel it right now.
I'll tell you, he's got beautiful footwork, doesn't he, Jay? That quick crossover right into his shot.
Hutchison's going to stop and pull up. No good. This is what Osseo wants, the pace to go up and down. Armstrong, a shot fake down the middle, fouled by Davison. Tried to get over and cut him off, but he was too late.
Yeah, watch Anderson's move. Look at this footwork. So tough to defend. He's going to go right to left crossover. Bam! Right into a shot. And a nice challenge. I mean, you couldn't have played defense any better. Just a great offensive move by Allen Anderson.
Osseo still down 10, although some things starting to go their way a little bit here. Armstrong gets it in and then takes the return. Tyson, they wanted that 3, but Hutchison does a nice job running out there and getting up on him.
You know, and I think Osseo, too, that's a big momentum thing for them. When they can get Tyson a 3, and he's able to knock it down, and I think the rest of their offense really feeds off of that.
Horton either getting a piece of the ball or a piece of Anderson's hand, or a little both, but it ends up being short on the shot. Hutchison over to Davison, looking to drive. Dishing over. Bredensteiner's shot no good. And a battle for the rebound, and it'll be a held ball.
Man, good hustle by both teams. You know, and Osseo, I think, doing a nice job here in the second half, Jay, of just making it difficult for Maple Grove. Nothing easy. We saw countless layups uncontested in that first half. This half, Maple Grove really, you know, not getting those easy looks. And I think Nico's going to have to come out because of a bloody mouth.
Martinson will check in to replace him. So Anderson to the front court here for Osseo. Kicking it to Armstrong, down low, layup good.
Well, just a beautiful catch, almost playing receiver there, goes and gets a tough pass. Able to catch it, not only that, but also with the aptitude to finish it. Excellent offense.
Davison slips and will be called for the travel. He planted that foot to make a pass and his foot slid.
Yeah. That's the right call, and I think Coach Schroeder letting them know, hey, we don't have to play that fast and get caught up in this up and down and matching, you know, shot for shot. We just got to keep doing what we were doing.
Tyson for three, and he's on the board from the floor, and Osseo battling right back into it now. 5-point game. Hold on Armstrong.
That shot is huge for so many reasons. It gets him going. You see, that's tough when you're a shooter, right-handed shooter coming to your left, squaring up. He hits it. The crowd goes wild. That's a big shot. It gets them to within 5. Huge play for Osseo. Huge momentum builder for their offense.
Trying to deny that ball to Davison. They do get it into him. Osseo going to run a double at him. Got it to Horton and gets it right back. Maple Grove, I think, needs to go, you know, kind of into attack mode again. Not that they need to play fast, but they've been kind of just like hanging on to the lead, it feels like. Davison trying to turn the corner here. Baseline pass. Hutchison blocked, but a foul on Betty. Got the ball pretty nice up high, but might have got some body.
So nice job by Hutchison cutting baseline. Beautiful no-look pass. Yeah, and you can see definitely some body contact in there. The block itself was clean, but there was body contact. You know, and that's just trusting each other too. When guy drives at you, your defender's not looking at you, cut back door. Nice pass, nice cut.
Free throw good by Jack Hutchison, so he has 5 points now. Hughes and Williams, that backcourt combo coming in. They kind of sub in a lot of times in tandem, and Armstrong and Anderson will get breathers. And that's what Tim Tyson talked about. We want to get, you know, we want to wear Maple Grove out a little bit. We can send them in waves a little bit more.
Yep. No, that's really, when you have great depth and you have great athleticism, and you can replace two guys like Anderson and Armstrong with guys that are equally as athletic, and maybe you don't lose very much. That's a huge plus.
Down low, here's Betty. Oh, and he missed it. He gets it right back, though, and scores.
That's just great continuation right there. He hurried the initial layup, probably thinking the big fella was right there, able to finish it and gather himself. Nice job staying with it.
Back to a 5-point lead for Maple Grove. They were up 9 at halftime. Davison driving, and a foul call going against Bezdicek of Osseo.
I mean,
and Davison will shoot.
You see how tough, Jay, he is going to his right. You know what I mean? It's almost like he makes his mind up. He's going to get to a spot, and he's very good at drawing contact. You can see he was moving. If I'm defending him, I'm taking that right away, and I'm forcing him left. And not to say he can't go to the left, but I think he'd prefer to go right. He's more comfortable to go right. But he's just too good when he goes to his right.
And second free throw is also good. And I think on occasion on some of those, I mean, I'm not saying you want to back away, but try to make Davison make that shot instead of sending him to the free throw line. Oh, that's going to be a hard shot.
No, absolutely. Or you make him hit contested jump shots. And if he does that, there's nothing. There's Tyson off a beautiful screen.
No good. Bezdicek. Wow, caught it in midair and put it back up, and it almost went in.
How about that basketball IQ to go get that, knew he got fouled, and instead of just getting a foul, able to turn it into a shot attempt too. Excellent play, excellent basketball IQ play. And this place was about to explode. Tyson finally got shook free for a nice look and got squared up and just rushed it a little bit, just missed it.
Give credit to the officials here for giving him 2 shots, too. I think there used to be, the old school of thought was if you're rebounding it, it can't be a shot.
Oh, it can
and
be
it definitely was.
I mean, just a smart play, too.
Yeah, it didn't even enter my mind that he might just catch and shoot that all in one there.
Yeah.
Inbounded to Davison.
And here you see Osseo running 2 guys at him in the backcourt.
And Hutchison will be called for a travel.
That's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a Maple Grove player catch it. And again, I think it goes back to Osseo's, pressure defense, that you're playing so fast that you're starting to think where I'm going to go, and you got to put that ball down before you move your feet.
Dante Jones with it out high. Williams out on the left side, looking to attack against Davison. And a wild shot there, and then Davison will wind up with the rebound. And then a blocking foul on the way back up court.
But my question is, why try to take a charge, right? At that point, 60 feet away from the basket. That's where you got him on the sideline, contain him, slow him down. Because instead, there's 6 fouls, so Maple Grove will be shooting Jay in the bonus the rest of the game for 11 minutes.
Knocked away there. Osseo wants the ball. I think Bezdicek definitely hit Nico's arm and not the ball, so they're probably fortunate not to get a foul call there. Inbound comes to Davison. Osseo, good knowledgeable basketball fan, saying what we've been saying, make him go left. We're hearing from behind. Down low to Nico, gathers, goes up and dunks.
That's a great set that they're running. Brad Davison sets an up screen, and then he pops, and they're instantly into a high-low, and he throws it up there. And I'll tell you what, Reed Nico doing a great job of keeping that ball up high and finishing. And here's what you'd like to see. Right now, you got Dante Jones being guarded by Nico on the perimeter. There you go, big fella. That's the move. He's got to take that big guy off the dribble and attack the basket. Nice play by Dante Jones.
Foul is called, although not on Nico. It's Martinson trying to take the charge, and Jones will go to the free throw line. He's been pretty quiet tonight mainly because he picked up a couple early fouls, but he's a good ball player too. He hasn't had a point yet.
And he's averaging 9 points a game, so just under double figures, so good scorer. And that's where he's got to say, listen, guys, I may not be the leading scorer, but I got this big guy on me. This is the play. I'll break him down. And if I don't get all the way to the rim, I'll kick it and make the unselfish play. But, sometimes you use another team's strength, having size, against them and attack them. Use your quickness.
Jones makes a pair to get himself on the board. And it's a 5-point game. Looking to trap Davison, gets it over to Nico.
Let's see if they run the same set that they just ran.
Got Bezdicek now defending Nico. Martinson wanted to look inside. He stumbles, and it's to the floor. Timeout, Maple Grove, as they just could see they were in trouble.
He's got to be tired, doesn't he? I mean, he must be in great shape when you got to handle the basketballs as much as he does against teams that are constantly pressuring you, constantly trying to take you out of the game. That's a huge burden, and he handles it as well as anybody. And I think too, understanding that with Taiwan Pickford out, they lose another ball handler, they lose some scoring, knowing that his role, if anything, is just going to have to increase.
And obviously, Teron Pickford with that foul trouble is another guy that would be out there able to handle the ball, but also somebody you have to, to look out for. That might slash by you and get some easy buckets. So they have battled that part of it, and that's all part of having depth. Sometimes, if you go through a season and you don't have injuries and you don't have foul trouble, then you can probably get by not being particularly deep, but things happen.
And this is a dogfight, and this Osseo team and these kids, you know, again, a lot of them playing football, a lot of them having, you know, experienced what winning is all about. These kind of games, it's a dogfight, but they just feel, you know, deep down that somehow they're going to find a way to win. And that spirit, that attitude, it's one of the best things that you can have as an athlete, because a lot of times you win games you have no business winning.
They quickly double Davison as he tries to spin away from it here. Down low to Nico. Nico gathers and hammers it home.
How about the way he's finishing his plays? A nice pass, a nice catch, able to avoid the charge, and just throws another one down. It was a big-time play.
Many in the gym didn't feel he avoided the charge there. And Bezdacek with an answer there. John Bezdacek for 3. And Tim Tyson barking at them a little bit at that last non-call on Nico inside, I think.
How about Bezdacek answering with a dagger from way behind the three-point line? Oh. You know, it's one of those where it looks, I think, worse because of the size discrepancy between the two kids, but I don't think you're wrong if you would have called that a charge, and I don't necessarily think you're wrong that it was a no call either.
There's no doubt he embellished it. That's a part I always find kind of frustrating, is that you won't get a call unless you flop. But then if they flop, you may, you know, it's a tough one. I agree with you. I think that one could have gone either way. I know Osseo doesn't agree, but I don't think it was a real egregious lower the shoulder, knock him down kind of thing.
No, but what you're finding too is now it's a 4-point game. But what's been the difference in the second half? For me, I think it's you're getting perimeter play now, some outside shooting mixed in with some good attacks. And really, I think they've made Maple Grove work for their offense. Even though Maple Grove's still scoring, but they're not getting those easy looks. Osseo's tightened up the reins here, and they're getting some perimeter shots to fall.
Hutchison will inbound in the backcourt here for Maple Grove. The lead has been trimmed to 4. Davison cutting free. And dribbled into a double. Here's Hughes with the steal and layup.
Yeah, nice job. It looked like Hughes was running away. All of a sudden he turned around, able to strip Davison of the ball.
Ahead it comes to Horton. And we'll get a foul on Osseo.
Yeah, I think Osseo was wanting to travel right there. But a nice job by Hughes. He just turned around, picked his pocket, and able to finish, and that's Osseo basketball. We haven't seen those turnovers transferred into easy points very often tonight.
So Horton to the free throw line here for Maple Grove. 1 out of 2 in that first half.
Yeah, and Horton really getting more minutes, I think, because of the Pickford injury. And really had a couple of those travels early in the first half, but he's had a couple of nice plays. Here you're at the free throw line on the road. These are ones you got to get.
Short with that, tip to the corner. And Nico is going to pick up a foul. Couldn't hold up and bumped into him.
See, to me, that's not a foul. If anything, you call that other one. That one in the corner. You know, and parts of that, Reed's got to know, hey, I can't even go after this ball. Well, that's his third, and with 9 minutes left, if he were to pick another one up, you got to imagine he'd sit down.
Osseo a chance to tie or take the lead. Anderson a floater down the lane, and it goes in and out. Maple Grove starting to look a little tired right now. Horton gets it to Nico down low. Bredensteiner for the layup.
Well, nice job breaking that pressure. They get it to the big fella, Reed. Nico in the middle of the floor. He's able to look over defenders, and he knocks it down to Bredensteiner, who finishes.
Whoa, Jones from way downtown.
Well, he's got Reed Nico on him, forcing him to guard him out on the perimeter. Reed gives him a step, and rightfully so, and he buries it. Dante Jones, again, I think after hitting a couple free throws, you get your rhythm, you get your confidence a little bit.
Nico back out to Hutchison. Looked like he could have maybe turned toward the hoop and had something going, but they'll pull it back. 1 point lead for the Crimson. Davison driving, and going to be a block on Bezdacek. His 4th.
That's Dante Jones way deep. And Nico not going to go out that far to extend and able to knock it down. Let's get a good look at this one. Ooh. I can see why Osseo might have an issue with that one.
Well, I talked about it in the game last year.
Well, here's what they're calling that a 1-and-1 foul and not a shooting foul.
Huh.
Oh my.
That may be one where you're thinking we weren't quite as sure as we thought we were on the foul, so we'll call it
We'll try to compromise.
Yeah. I said last year, though, Brad Davison got to be one of the toughest players to officiate because he creates contact all of the time, and are those offense, are those defense, you're put to the test a lot of times, and he uses it to his advantage too.
Absolutely. You know, and I say it on a lot of our broadcasts, Jay. You know, officials are going to reward you if you're aggressive and you attack the basket more often than not. And I think he has so much contact for 90 feet that officials almost give him the benefit of the doubt too. That was a close one. I could have seen that go either way.
Anderson handing it over to Armstrong as he drives around. Bredensteiner missed it. There's Betty for the rebound, and he is fouled, and that'll be on Nico.
And that's huge, and that's what Betty tonight were his advantage. He's a quick leaper, able to get it up, and that's going to be Reed's fourth. Watch him go up and get this. Just a quick leaper. He beats everyone else up. Let's see if you can see when that arm is extended down like that, Jay, that's an easy call for the referee.
Yeah, clear foul that time, and so Betty will shoot free throws here for the Orioles, and he knocks the first one down. We'll see if Crimson are going to, yes, they are indeed going to pull Reed Nickel out, and Martinson will come back in.
I think that's huge because really in the second half with them breaking the pressure, they've gone to Nickel in the middle of the floor, and he's been able to make some passes that have led to buckets. So really a big loss, big foul.
Betty misses the second free throw. Martinson in some trouble in the backcourt, but finds Hutchison. That's for a 2-on-1, and gonna get a blocking foul against Anderson. Another close block charge situation.
Now we'll get a look here. Those are two, really tough ones. You know, you could kind of see Anderson sliding with his shoulders just a little to the right. You know, and referees really, more often than not, are going to give the benefit of the doubt. Oh, he's shooting on that one. Yeah. More often than not, they're going to give the offense the benefit of the doubt, especially if they see any movement whatsoever on the defender. But I'll tell you what, Osseo, playing really good defense here and really close calls on these charges or blocks. Let's see if we can see it all. His feet.
Yeah, to me that's not a. I don't like the call.
You think that's a charge?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah,
I don't, because I think it to me, there's Bredensteiner putting it back up inside. The idea that you're ever going to be 100% set for a long time isn't true. There's Armstrong scoring off the glass and good, and there's a block on this end too.
I'll tell you what, at least they're consistent, right, on both ends. Yeah, it's kind of the same exact play. Feet were set, but sliding just a little bit. But how about Armstrong? This is such a tough shot. Look at him sidestep just at the last minute. And not only that, but to have the wherewithal, takes the contact, able to get it off the glass, and a chance to tie this basketball game. What a game. What 2 games back-to-back today. Just nail-biters. A lot of fun.
Armstrong had a tremendous season as a wide receiver, helped the Orioles to the football championship, and now trying to help them win a huge game on the basketball court right here. As Ryan said, he can, it's funny because to me it's felt like Osseo's had the momentum for quite a while, but they've never quite gotten all the way caught up, and they still don't.
Yep. Well, not only that, but they were down by 9 at half, so they had a big hill to climb.
Davison, pull-up jumper, in and out. Kept alive, but Anderson tracks it down here for Osseo.
The difference, though, Jay, in the first half, that was a layup, right? An uncontested layup. That time, it's a mid-range jump shot.
Armstrong too hard with that one. And Hutchison had it, but Armstrong took it away, but then it hits Armstrong's foot as he tried to put it on the deck.
Armstrong playing defensive back here on this one. Look at him. Look at that anticipation and quick hands. Goes and gets it and just goes off his foot.
They get it inbounded here. Davison for Pickford, who's back in there. Pickford, a hanging layup, wouldn't go. And knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Osseo.
I almost forgot about Pickford. It's been about 10 minutes since we've seen him and since he picked up his 4th foul. But I think Coach Schroeder recognizing they need someone else that can maybe handle the ball and attack on offense.
And it's tough to find your rhythm back sometimes when you've been sitting that long. Here's Davison, short on the fadeaway, but Pickford grabs it. Pickford leaving it for Bredensteiner, he traveled. And that one's a little more on the pass maybe. With so much traffic, that's a hard play to make.
You know, that's one where you just want to kick it out top, right, and reset, get a good set going. You know, I'm surprised too that Davison, we saw him go to the post on that one play in the first half. We haven't seen him, you know, the ball get to him in the post where he was pretty effective. Thought maybe we'd see some of that here in the second half.
Tyson takes the handoff. Anderson. Osseo with a chance to take the lead. 6.5 to play here. And another great battle, just like the girls' game was earlier tonight.
How nice would they like to get Tyson freed here for an open 3. Get him a good look.
Betty from the baseline, it's good. He doesn't have the prettiest shot, but he can make those 10 to 12 footers. Hutchison driving, partially blocked, rebound by Pickford.
You know, I think Betty, you know, that's an underrated part of his game. He's got that little 10-foot mid-range jump shot. You know, there's the majority of his points are second chance rebounds and down by the basket, but he's a capable shooter.
So Maple Grove back up by 1. Osseo trying to answer again here. Anderson. He wants to attack here, but he finds Armstrong. Armstrong is a lefty. He goes around Davison. Is fouled. Martinson came up to meet him and got a little too aggressive. Look at that hoop by Betty off the nice assist.
Yeah, nice penetrating kick. And here's a great block there. And just a nice finish by Pickford, able to finish it.
So DeMario Armstrong to the free throw line where Osseo struggled tonight. They're only hitting slightly above 50%. But he makes that one.
You know, the question here, I think, for Nick Schroeder for Maple Grove is how long do you keep Nico on the bench with that 4th foul? Usually I'd say at that 3.5, 4-minute mark, you put your best players in regardless of foul trouble.
And Armstrong knocks down a pair of free throws. Osseo has the lead back. And to Martinson now, Bredensteiner. And they're able to get it to Davison, but here comes the double. Floats it to Pickford. Pickford looking to turn the corner, and then a little leaner, and he hits.
It was almost a hesitation, like he didn't want to shoot it, then he realized how open he was, and he's able to knock it down. So Pickford with a nice lift here after that long rest with his 4th foul. 2 quick buckets. Maple Grove back in front.
Looking for Betty, but a hold called on Martinson. The pass got away, but it was because Martinson had just held up Betty a little bit as he was finishing that cut. And Betty will go to the free throw line.
Oh, and again, we had a lot of fouls called in the first half. Jay, we got 19 of them already in the second half. So, you know, both teams playing physical, playing aggressive, and the referees are definitely calling the contact.
And here comes Nico right now. 5:07 to go. And then wait till after this first free throw, of course.
Well, we talked about Betty, you know, as the player to watch tonight. I think he's really had a nice game. He's hit a couple of jump shots. He's been aggressive. He's guarded. He's done a fairly nice job on Reed Nicholl, even though Nicholl's had a nice offensive night too. But, you know, giving up that points, his energy on defense and on offense, I think is such a big part of what Osseo does.
Well, and I think Betty does a good job too of playing off other players. You know, he makes himself available to receive passes. He doesn't need, you know, 15 shots a night to be effective.
I don't think they run any sets for him. He just...
Pickford, this one will be an offensive foul on Pickford, and that will be it for his night.
Well, that's huge because I think he really gave the Crimson a lift as that second ball handler and scorer. You can see that time no argument at all. That's a travel. That's where you got to come to a jump stop, right? You're taught a jump stop at a young age. especially when you got 4 fouls. That's a huge loss for
Although,
Maple Grove.
easy to see why Pickford would think that it wouldn't be a charge because they've generally, as you said, been giving the benefit of the doubt to the defender or the offensive player.
I think the difference there, Jay, is there was no movement. You didn't see any. He was set, didn't move, and Pickford ran right into the heart of his chest. That one's an easy call. And I think, too, when the offense looks like you're out of control a little bit, that's when you tend to see more charges called. Nice defense, gutsy defense, and a nice call.
1 point lead, Maple Grove, but Osseo has just seen the Crimson, one of their better players, foul out.
Especially the way Osseo's defending Maple Grove, taking Brad a little bit out of the game.
Here's Bezdicek from the top, but no good, and Nico the board.
It seems like when just about Osseo's ready to take control of the game with a big shot or a big possession, they can't get it to fall. Maple Grove retains the lead here by 1.
Nothing has really come all that easy in this second half, especially. Davison driving, kicks it over to Martinson, knocked out of his hands on the way up.
Great defense right there. You see how they forced Brad to get the ball out of his hands and make someone else make a bucket. Again, in the first half, that was a layup uncontested. This time, 2-3 defenders getting the ball out of his hand.
Into Bredensteiner, and they're going to call Betty for a hold as Nico was trying to post up. I thought Betty might have kind of done the old pull the chair out. He just backed away from him and let him fall, but that's not the way they saw it, as Betty will be called for the foul, so his 4th.
Those two are battling up in the high post there a few plays ago, so definitely some physical contact. You know, I think for referees, officiating post play is one of the hardest things to do, right? You know, what is the offensive player entitled to? As a defender, what are you entitled to? And there is definitely contact.
Nico's first free throw good, second way too hard, and Betty grabs the rebound, so the lead is 2 for Maple Grove. Down to 4 minutes remaining in this one. Armstrong, tough pull-up jumper, good defense there by Bredensteiner. And they try and trap the ball handler, and then a foul is Davison on the way out. That'll be Kyle Williams picking it up.
And my question is, why 85 feet away from the basket? You know, especially when you're in the double bonus. There's no reason to foul him and give him free opportunities here at the free throw line. Pressure him, trap him, like they've done a great job here in the second half, but do not foul.
Davison to the free throw line, and I think he did a pretty good job that time of seeing that they were going to trap and immediately getting that ball on, putting it on the deck and going up hard and making
what direction was he going there?
Yeah,
you know, he goes right, he can get there.
So Maple Grove back to a 4-point lead now at 65-61. Tyson dumping it over. Bezdicek lining up a 3 and he hits.
How about that?
And a timeout taken here. 65-64 Crimson as John Bezdicek coming up big in this one.
Well, nice, just a screen and roll that time. Excellent decision making and just a big time shot by Bezdicek, who buries the 3. He's had a nice game here tonight. Missed a couple of open looks, but that time just buries it. Really, it seems like Maple Grove might have the game back in their control, and then Osseo hits a big shot. Just when you think Osseo might finally get that lead back, they don't quite. Just back and forth. Both teams so familiar with each other. Both teams, I think, really executing at a pretty high level.
Both in the double bonus, too, so every foul, obviously, from here on out has been a 2-shot, and Maple Grove's had the edge at the line tonight. And have racked up points that way.
You know what I'm bummed about? That when I played, they didn't have those big head stickers that they hold up. How cool would that be to look up and see one of those big stickers of your face out in the crowd? Those are fun. I love both of these crowds. We got to see them during the football season. They're passionate fan base. There's that big head.
Well, it's not too late. In the game that you got coming up, we could see if we could make that happen.
I love that. How great as a player, though, to look up and see that. You just got to feel great. You love the school spirit.
Although, as both coaches said when we were talking during the week, you have to make sure you're not paying too much attention to that during this game, too. You feed off the energy of the crowd, but you don't want to let it affect you. Davison will bring it up court with Demario Armstrong on him. You see Armstrong calling for the double to come. They throw the lob to Nico. He goes the other way. Bredensteiner for the layup.
What a great pass by Reed Nico. He catches it before he even comes down, hits it over to Bredensteiner, and he finishes the layup.
Anderson, a step back three with the answer.
And guess what? We're tied again. Wow, what a high level of basketball. What a treat for us and all our viewers here on Channel 12.
Davison's scoop will not go. Armstrong grabs it. Here come the Orioles as Davison scrambles to his feet.
You say they got a 5-on-4 here. They got to be able to find an open look.
Bezdicek for three more and he hits. Osseo by three.
There's that big shot we were talking about. They finally break through and get the lead, and a smart job making the extra pass, knowing they had a 5-on-4, a one-man advantage, and they got the hot hand over to Bezdicek, who buries a big three.
Davison with the drive, blocked, but a foul called. Looks like it'll be on Demario Armstrong.
Well, that's just a tough shot. Step back right there by Anderson. And nice drive and kick, knowing again they find the open man, and Bezdicek has hit his last 2 threes. None bigger than that one. That puts Osseo ahead by 3.
So Davison back to the free throw line. You see he approaches 30. Your free throw is good. Davison has hit some from the field, obviously, but he scored 15 out of his points from the line, 15 for 17.
And really a huge majority of them have been touch fouls, you know, way back 60, 70 feet away from the basket.
Makes a pair, so the lead is trimmed to 1 now. Osseo, see if the complexion of this one changes a little bit with Osseo. Has mainly been playing from behind all night, now playing with the lead. We get a hold out away from the play on Hutchison of Maple Grove.
Well, and you know, you're thinking not a big foul, but hey, when you're shooting a double bonus, every foul is big. And not only that, but you're putting an excellent shooter on the free throw line in Tyson.
Free throw is good. And Tyson makes a couple of big ones here for Osseo. So they go up by 3. Davison driving, we will get a body foul as before he made the pass off. Dante Jones will pick it up.
That's his fourth, yeah. You know, Davison does such a good job of not losing the basketball. There's so much traffic and commotion going on around him, and you know, he just does a great job with his body control of drawing fouls. And he's done a nice job of knocking free throws down tonight. In fact, I think he's knocked, what, his last 11 or 12 down in a row.
And the jinx worked. Knocked away, Tyson tipping it to Bezdicek.
Isn't that crazy that you say that? And that, I mean, Maple Grove fans are hating me right now for saying that. I certainly didn't mean to put the jinx on.
Anderson driving off his leg and out as Davison tipping it away from him and it hit his foot.
Was that Davison or was that Horton that reached in? I couldn't see. Slapped it off, big time steal. It's just a 1-possession game.
.145 to play, trying to set a screen up high for Davison. Was gonna shoot, tip loose. And we get a travel call on Davison. The ball was tipped out of his hand, it appeared, but they ruled that he had still caught it or maintained possession of it long enough that it was going to be a travel. So Jones with it. Be interesting to see if Osseo keeps attacking or if they try and play it, hold it until they foul you.
And again, remember, it's not bonus, it's a double bonus. So every foul, it's 2 shots.
Bezdicek picked it up, but now Jones, here's where they have the advantage with Nico having the chase out there.
You know, if you're Maple Grove, at what point do you start fouling, and then who do you want to foul in a situation like this?
Armstrong to the hoop, and he throws it down.
Wow.
Oh, my.
That's how you finish in a big-time game.
74-70, Davison.
Oh, what
scores
an answer.
And a foul.
Again, he gets to his right hand. He is so good going right. Oh, here's that finish by Demario Armstrong. Look at him. He got his stepping right. He knew he was going to try to bang that, and he did. Wow, what a finish. Yeah, and again, going to his right, defender just sliding just a little bit. And this time he's able to finish it. You see the emotion, and you see what this game means to both teams and this crowd. What a game. What a fun atmosphere.
Davison will head to the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play here and pull his team to within one. Bezdicek fouled out right there. 17 huge points for him.
That's a big loss with the way he's been shooting. Of course, if this becomes a foul game, you know, his ability to knock free throws down, very big foul.
Davison's free throw is good.
Well, and that's so big. I think being, you know, down one, because now if you do have to foul, no matter what, it's still a one-possession game, right? When you're down two and you end up fouling it, obviously it could be a 4-point game. So, you know, big play. This is where I think as a strategy, you're talking about how do we create some type of trap, go for a steal, and then at what time do we say, okay, now we need to start fouling?
Yeah, certainly that's a discussion too, like you said, is, you know, who do we want to foul? And that's where your assistants are going to be chiming in.
Yeah. Hey, this guy shoots this percentage, this guy does that. You're also looking at the feel of the game, maybe who hasn't been shooting much or who hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities. Absolutely. You know, and I'm a big believer in this type of game where you give it a good 5-10 seconds. If you don't get a steal, you foul. You try to extend this game, give it as many possessions as possible, especially with the way Maple Grove can score in a hurry. And if you're Osseo, you're taking care of the basketball, being strong with the basketball, knowing how many timeouts you got left. You don't want to pick your dribble up in the short corner or near half court where they can trap you easily. So it's just such a chess match at this stage of a game. That's why basketball is such a fun game to call and to play in.
It's obviously a different thing for Maple Grove. They've been the team that's wanted to lay back and play half-court D, and now they have to extend it.
Yep.
We'll see how Osseo can handle it. They get it into Anderson. Horton getting up on him, and he will grab him and take the foul. And that's not what Nick Schroeder wanted, it looks like. I thought at first he was complaining the official, which obviously was a real foul. He's actually telling Horton that wasn't exactly what we were hoping for.
Anderson is a big-time scorer. He's a good shooter. What's he at the line tonight?
Struggled earlier.
He's made his last few, I think, from the line.
3 for 7. That was the first one here in the second half, but made it look easy there. 75-73. Chance to make it a three-point game again now for Allen. And he nails a pair of big free throws right there.
Yep. And again, a three-point game, you don't need a three-pointer at this stage. I think you just try to execute, attack the basket, try to get a good shot attempt.
Davison on the drive. Oh, we're going to get a foul on Armstrong.
Is there a continuation out of it? No, they're going to call that one on the floor.
And that will be number 5 on Demario Armstrong.
If we were in the NBA, Jay, that would have been a three-point play. You can see the fall well before the shot attempt. Yeah, and that's the 5th foul on Armstrong. That's, of course, a big loss for Osseo. Just his leadership, his winning, his athleticism, his ability to handle the ball, to finish at the rim. And they're going to get Hughes in the game for him.
So Davison will head back to the free throw line. 31.8 to play, and his team down 3. Bounces around and drops. Second one also good. 1 point game again. Inbounded to Anderson. Anderson into the front court here to under 25 to play. And now they take the foul on Kyle Williams.
And I think that's exactly, you can hear the bench at Maple Grove yelling foul, foul, foul. They wanted the ball out of Anderson's hands over to Williams. So Maple Grove gets what they want. And that's where Anderson has a great free throw shooter. Maybe he has to keep that one a little bit longer, force them to foul him.
Williams hasn't been in the line in the second half, but he was just 1 for 4 in the first. So that was definitely the guy that Maple Grove wanted.
Yep, and Anderson on the flip side, got to know, hey, who is our best free throw shooters? Who do we want to get the ball to?
They're saying it's a 5th foul on Horton. Maple Grove's bench thought it was 4. So Martinson will check in for him.
And it's 2 shots, remember, both teams in the double bonus. 22 seconds left, 1 point lead for Osseo, and Kyle Williams at the free throw line.
No good, but he obviously has one more coming.
Yeah, and you see Nick Schroeder telling his guys, box out. This is where athleticism of Osseo, they're going to be crashing the boards. Got to do a box out. You got to secure the rebound here if you're Maple Grove.
You're going to put a little more time on the clock because when that free throw was missed, players started to go for it and the clock briefly started, which it shouldn't have. Second one for Williams is good, so he at least gets 1 out of 2, and it's a 2-point game.
I expect to see Brad Davison attacking the basket where he's had so much success tonight. The question is, do they help, and does someone else make a big shot?
Martinson for the tie, no good. Anderson a rebound, Nico grabs him. 4 seconds to go, Nico will foul out, and Osseo with a chance to seal it up.
Well, I thought Osseo defended that perfectly. I'd rather have Jared Martinson make a contested jump shot than see Brad Davison drive all the way to the rim. So I thought they defended it well. I thought that was an excellent, unselfish play by Davison. A good look for Martinson. I thought really both teams did what they wanted on that play. And a heads-up play by Nico, even though he picked up his 5th foul, knowing he had to get that foul in a hurry to give Maple Grove at least a few seconds left on the clock here.
Not the guy they necessarily want to put on there, but obviously, like you said, at that point, you don't have a choice. Yeah, you got to take it immediately. Two could seal it, 1 would make it tough, but Maple Grove would still have a shot. Anderson misses. Not over yet.
Yeah.
Timeout, Maple Grove.
You know, and these are end-of-game situations you work on, Jay, every day, every week in practice. We're down 2, we're down 3, 5 seconds left. They're going to have some play that they've executed in practice. Guys are going to know what to do. The question is, will it be down 2 or will it be down 3? And then the question is, if it is 3 points, does Osseo foul? Do you just take the 3-pointer out of it? Especially with Reed Nichol fouled out, maybe you're not quite as worried about an offensive rebound. So a lot of decisions here by both sides. But I think it starts right here with Alan Anderson knocking this free throw down. You want to have that 3-point lead rather than the 2. You got to figure, too, if he does miss this, they're able to get it to Brad, he's going to be looking to draw contact. And 5 seconds is an awful lot of time for you to go the length of the court and get a good look.
Maple Grove fans making a lot of noise. Obviously, it's a road game for them, but a lot of their fans here as well. Maybe just as many even. And Anderson knocks it down. Maple Grove, Davison, one last chance. Tosses it up two-handed. It will not drop, and Osseo stays undefeated with a 78-75 win. What a thriller here tonight.
Wow. Maple Grove got what they wanted. Brad Davison going to his right. I just thought that was defensed really well by Osseo. He wasn't able to get his normal jump shot off, had to throw it overhead, and it falls short. What a game. Osseo stays undefeated, Jay. We had two barn burners here tonight for the girl boy doubleheader, Osseo Maple Grove, with Osseo winning both of them. Fun night.
Huge win for the Orioles. We said that, last week, really showing that they are for real by beating Champlin Park and Armstrong on the road. They come back with a huge victory over their arch rival here this evening. We will come back to wrap things up here from Osseo in just a moment. The Orioles beat Maple Grove 78-75.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your
you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
An eating disorder feels like having another person inside your head. It kind of built this wall around me.
The main thing that we needed was hope.
Your age, your gender, your ethnicity. Eating disorders don't discriminate. They can strike anyone. The National Eating Disorders Association has the information and resources to steer people and their families toward the road to recovery.
Call or visit the NEDA website today for help and hope.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
30 million Americans will suffer from an eating disorder at some point in their lives. The National Eating Disorders Association has the information and resources to steer people and their families toward the road to recovery.
Hi, I work at the NEDA helpline. We have something called Click to Chat, which is a live chat with someone on the helpline, and they're really able to get support.
Call or visit the NEDA website today for help and hope.
Sharing your passion starts with taking that first step. Take Lindsay, for example. Her first step was taking free TV classes at Northwest Community Television. Right away, she received professional training and now has the tools and skills necessary to produce her own show. She's turning dreams into realities right from her own home. And best of all, she's sharing her passion with members of her community and beyond. Share your passion. Visit nwct.org.
Welcome back to Osseo. This is about as good as it gets for high school basketball. The Orioles over the Crimson tonight, 78-75 after trailing for much of the game. They come back and get it done. We're joined by Alan Anderson and John Bezicek. And how much fun was this night to be a part of with the huge atmosphere and all these fans in here in such a close game?
Yeah, it's fun. Every year it's fun to play against Maple Grove. They come out and play hard. They give us a challenge. And it's just a blessing to come out on top today. Yeah.
I thought that first half, for the most part, went the way they were hoping it would go. They built a lead, and they were kind of playing at a little bit of a slower pace and everything. What did you guys talk about at halftime to come out and kind of take the tempo away from them?
All we did was, we came together as a team and told each other that this game isn't over. There's a lot of game left in basketball. 18 minutes is a long time, and we stayed within the game, and then we came up on top.
One thing that really impressed me, too, is it looked like you wanted the ball at the end, and you wanted the ball at the end, and all you guys felt confident shooting the ball. DeMario Armstrong had a great game, too. Is that something that's going to be key for this team, to have more than one or two big scorers?
Oh, yeah. We pride that, everybody can score the ball. On our team, everybody averages multiple points, over 9 points a game. And we share the ball, make those advantages, and they knock down the shots.
How do you build on this one from here, too? Because obviously there'll be some more important games coming up.
Oh, yeah, we can't let this be the big game and we just set off and lay off. We got a lot of work to do, and we're going to keep pushing to the end of the season.
Thanks for joining us. Great game here tonight, Alan.
Thank you.
And John Bezicek knocking down some crucial three-pointers. How much fun was it for you out here tonight?
It was really fun out here. We had a good student section out there that really cheered us on, and that helped a lot.
Both teams had some foul trouble. It was the type of game where it was aggressive. You knew there were going to be some back and forth that way, but how did you guys fight through that?
Well, the rest of us play physical, and we just had to keep each other up and keep motivating each other to play harder and physical.
Coach told us at halftime that you guys were kind of upset with the way you played in the first half, but did you use that to your advantage and, not point fingers, but come out and play harder?
Yeah, we used it to come out with more energy in the second half, and that really helped us boost ourselves in the second half.
Congratulations, a great win here, and best of luck the rest of the way here.
Thank you.
All right, John Bezicek getting the job done for Osseo here tonight as they come back and win a huge one over Maple Grove, 78-75. So the Orioles stay undefeated on the season as they knock off their huge rival, Maple Grove. First conference loss and just second loss of the season for the Crimson. We hope you enjoyed this one here tonight. Boy, a great game in the girls' game and a great game in the boys as well. Final score here, Osseo 78, Maple Grove 75. For Ryan Iverson and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Osseo.